pretty awesome match. I'm not really one to be excited for TBT, but we actually have DDE versus the Evil Geniuses Puma. And it's actually be an awesome series. We have the luxury of casting DDE all the time, man. He plays in so many online tournaments during the week. This guy plays all the time, nothing but practice. And of course, Puma, a few months ago, was considered the best at TBT. He's still pretty darn solid. Had a couple of falters as of late, but nonetheless, still an awesome matchup for us.
Yeah, DDE, a very strong macro player. It's going to be a challenge for him, though, to take down the, honestly, legendary Puma. Guys, we're going to take you into this game now. Robin, who are our players and where have they spawned?
Well, we are on the map MLG Dual Site. Bottom left corner is going to be our Red Terran player, Mr. DDE himself. Former team, or actually a teammate of one of our casters over at Playhim, Mr. Poke Bunny himself. Unfortunately, actually, Poke Bunny just got knocked out to lose his bracket by Puma, believe it or not. So maybe DDE here going to get a little bit of revenge on his teammate here. In the top right corner, it's going to be Puma, said player, our Blue Terran.
So Puma in this series is, I mean, he's going to be the favorite player without a doubt.
Yeah.
He has so many notable achievements. I know multiple times we've seen casters such as Artosis has referenced how he's the most sought-out Terran versus Terran in general practice partner in Korea. Had notable achievements in Brood War. He's a player with some serious longevity here and quite a history, a colorful history in the tournament. So sorry, just getting a note from our producer there. So guys,
I'm excited. I got to cast Puma with Bitter, actually. It was one of my mainstay casts, and I watched him on Dual Site, and he played Mech, I believe, and his Mech play was so phenomenal. And I'm really expecting that on here. I really feel like he enjoys going Mech on Dual Site, so we'll see if he goes that route against his opponent. Already getting his first gas here, but so is DDE as well down in the bottom left corner right now. Both grabbing gas. It looks like they want to do maybe some pressure builds here. Not too crazy in terms of expansion. We'll see what exactly they can go for. There are, of course, delayed expansions where you do grab gas, but I'm really expecting some kind of aggressive for both players, whether it be some kind of Banshee play, maybe some kind of Hellion play as well.
Yeah, DDE's, I mean, I'd like to honestly see him play safe and standard. It's his comfort zone. Puma, I think, is going to be the one who's going to be a little more ballsy here, if you will. He's willing to whip out some strategies to try to take down DDE quickly. When you're in the open bracket, you want to retain as much stamina as possible, Robin.
So
you
true.
do not want to expend that energy on opponents that you feel like you maybe a significant skill level above. So we'll be keeping an eye to see how DDE fares here against Puma. As we said, obviously the player who's got himself up for a challenge.
Well, Puma trying to get a scout off. DDE is going to go ahead and lock that SUV in there with some great Marine Michael, made sure to prevent Puma from getting any more scouting information. He got right about here in terms of vision, so he has no idea if a second gas has been thrown down, which is always a possibility. But he has opened up with, looks like a Reaper expand. Going to be having a Reaper popping out pretty soon, which is very, very great, phenomenal for one, grabbing vision. You can scout into your opponent, get an idea of that second gas if he did grab it or not. Also see some kind of tech, as well as you can follow up with map control. You can grab these Nagas. They're pretty darn fast until Hellions get on the field. And of course, they do fall off in terms of strength as we get to the mid game, but nonetheless, they're very, very fast mobile units that are really good, similar to a Zergling in terms of having this map control.
Yeah, Puma throwing down that expansion.
Yep, there it is.
And we did see him continue to mine gas while he was saving up for this command center. So that's a good indicator that he intends to tech some here. We see him throw down combat shields. It's likely he's going to go for a factory immediately afterwards. And that would explain, why he wanted to make sure to keep mining gas during all of this. Combat shields, going to give him some great strength in defending against any pressure that DDE does lay on. It also gives him better survivability against Banshees, which will now take 3 shots to kill instead of 2. Is DDE going to be going for Banshees? We see the starport currently on the way, but he has Reactor Hellions, so it easily could also be that medevac that we sometimes see in TBT.
Definitely a huge possibility. So yeah, going for kind of a 1-1-1 variant with the Reactor Factory there. We'll have 2 Hellions now popping out. Reaper does come in for a scout, though, and sees everything. That's really huge for Puma to get an idea of what exactly DDE has. And he goes, you know what? He has a lot of tech available to him when that starport is finished up.
DDE
he actually kills off the SCV.
Yeah, he needs to get back to work on that right away.
I don't think he realized it. There you go.
He's also got an SCV following a mule. It's not actually mining
there it is.
That could be rectified as well. Either way, I mean, DDE is up for a challenge here, and he's got to settle down, get his chips in order, and honestly play his best here against a player like Puma. Puma is not going to be nervous.
Yeah.
Not at all. And, I've had discussions with TLO about this, how he called it unfair. I wouldn't necessarily give it such a strong word, but I mean, it's hearing that from the lips of a pro player saying it's unfair, having these pro players go up against players who, yes, they already may be a little bit better, and then with their esteemed reputation, we see the nerves factor in.
For sure, and it looks like DDE's going to try and see if he can maybe get an avenue to come in here. Maybe a supply depot left down, but looks like he will be unlucky on this day. Puma is nice and well secured, are good to go in terms of his main being defended against any Hellion play. Does have his orbital finished up. Looks like he'll be content with just keeping up with SCV production as well as getting out mules if he needs to until he can actually secure that bottom low natural. Bunkered up at home as well, really looking to just go ahead and be in a defending position for a while. And it looks like checking over into the main of DDE, we have a second Rax being thrown down as well, and he actually switched that Rax onto that reactor while also grabbing that tech lab.
Yeah, and I don't know that he's done anything with that starport. Oh no, he did actually make a single Viking, medevac can be able to load up those Hellions onto the high ground if he opts to. We see him right now shooting away on this supply depot. If SCVs come off the line to repair it, they will be roasted. Marauders getting shots off right now against the I'll do it in a second. Well, it looks like the engagement's still going down there. It looks like the supply depot has gone into the red. Let me pull up these health bars really, really quick. And it looks like with these Marauders, he's actually destroyed a number of Hellions there and forced a retreat. Really quick, going to check some game sounds. Apparently, it's a little bit low for you guys, so give me a second. Really want to fix that up. Make sure you get the game volume nice.
54% sounds good.
There we go. Let us know how that sounds, guys. So, yeah, command center now established on the low ground for Puma. Did manage to hold off that aggression. Those Marauders there making a large difference against those Hellions with so much damage.
I love this from DDE. Puma thinks, you know what, I'm safe and secure. He actually moved a number of his units down to, actually left him in the main, so he looks pretty safe against this drop. But I love DDE being aggressive here, really just trying to find an avenue where Puma might be unsafe. 4 Marines do pop in, 2 Hellions as well. They're going to try and go straight for a couple of SCVs. If we get 5, 6 SCV kills and get those medevacs away, it'd be feeling great. But Puma responds accordingly, brings all his units back, and it's good to go.
Now DDE has to be careful. Stim just finished for Puma. That makes this medevac extremely more vulnerable. We see Puma going for the throw, but perhaps a little bit early, revealing that Stim was completed. I think he should have waited until maybe the medevac overextended itself a little, or tried to cut across the bottom and expected to be able to run away from the Marines. Either way, DDE not going to be able to land any drop pressure here. Puma's going to feel a lot more comfortable now that Stim is done.
Well, Puma now switching into, it looks like he's throwing down an engineering bay at the moment. Does have medevacs on the field as well, so he's going to start loading up his own drops. Looks like now heading to the top left corner. We'll be heading straight to the main as well. Really quick, we do actually have the drop going down to the natural, and that medevac is actually cleaned up. DDE not doing any damage, it seems, with it. Checking the natural, though. Got his orbital good to go. Let's check into SCVs really quick. 34 to 33, so in economy, our players are pretty darn even. Do have a couple siege tanks out for DDE, and he's actually grabbed siege mode as well. So it looks like Puma's wanting to get on the aggressive here. Maybe try and force his opponent to defend on both fronts. Going to have the drop, and maybe this army pushing across the middle of the map, but he's being a little bit slow with his main army as the drop is about to unload here in the main.
Yeah, Puma coming in with this, waiting to unload until he's already behind the mineral line. This is going to pull a lot of the units back for DDE, and we're going to see Puma likely move across the center of the map. But right now, in the main of Puma, we do see a Banshee taking some pot shots away on these SCVs. Marines spawning, but they're not going to be able to take it out in time. Medevac starting to heal. Will it be enough to take out the Banshee? It will not, unfortunately. A couple Marines stimming forward, but we do have that drop simultaneously. Looks like it's been thwarted by DDE, and the Banshee has been taken out by Puma. Overall, we've seen 11 workers killed by Puma. DDE taking a little bit more damage in that regard.
Yeah, 35 to 33 currently in SCVs, but I like how both players are harassing each other back and forth. It's actually, it's cool to see DDE actually kind of standing up to Puma a little bit here. Doing pretty well, actually. A little bit behind, 82 to 69, but with some great engagements with siege mode, he should be okay. Puma still now moving forward in the bottom right corner. At the same time, DDE is going the other path, going in this top left corner. A medevac will see that, so Puma is aware of it. Is he going to pull back? Yeah. Yes, he does retreat. He knows he can't allow DDE to siege up at his natural.
Puma playing so well here, making sure to play safe, not take any great risks against DDE, because he honestly shouldn't need to. SCVs coming in right now to facilitate this attack. If he can decisively win this, we could see Puma go and counter win the game. All the siege tanks cleaned up. DDE getting absolutely crushed there by Puma.
Puma engages that perfectly. He gets in a point and he goes to where the army is of DDE. Make sure it does not get into siege mode. Hits it right when the siege tanks were going into siege mode. So they could put in any damage out. And Puma cleaned that out magnificently. I think he lost 3, maybe 4 units, which were Marines, and now, as you said, he's available to go for the counterattack. Checking over to DDE, we have a bunker with nothing in it. 2 siege tanks popping out and 5 Marines here for defense, and that's it.
Oh yeah, DDE is in so much trouble. Puma lost next to no military units whatsoever in that engagement because of pulling off those SCVs, Robin. Marines dropping down on top of the siege tanks right now. SCVs getting pulled off for DDE, but is it going to be enough? I don't think there are many units to supplement this damage.
Yeah, he took one of his siege tanks down to the natural to defend it naturally, and that's one on the siege tank here in the main. That was cleaned up immediately when this drop went down, and now we have production facilities in trouble. There's only a few Marines now popping out, and 1 siege tank. SCVs were pulled off as well, so even if he does clean this up, he's lost a lot lot of economy. DDE not looking too good here. Lost his orbital. Puma is really just putting on a show here, stimming up and killing off the siege tank. GG has been called. DDE will be going down 0-1 against Puma. Man.
Guys, that was a game. Robin, you know, I expected a little bit better out of DDE, but Puma showing why he is the decorated player that we all know him to be.
Well played there. I really, really love the engagement at his own natural where he was going for a push and came back to defend. He engaged it on his terms. He took SCVs off the line. He engaged in new siege tanks for a bad siege up and hit perfectly. Cleaned everything up, had a concave, had a flank coming from the back. He took his medevac that was going for a push to the main and brought that into the fight as well. And he knew once he cleaned it up, he had a counterattack available, and he just went for a doom drop straight into the main. He knew the natural was going to be the point of contention for DDE. That's where DDE wanted to fight. So he took it to a different route, went to the main, dropped, killed off a siege tank, and basically won the game from there. That was beautifully done by Puma and shows why he's so great in TVT.
Yeah, it absolutely was. I loved that he chose to pull those SCVs off the line. It really retained his army supply, allowed him to go for that very powerful counterattack. So guys, we've just launched up the next game. We're going to be inviting the players here.
Yeah, let me go ahead and get that done really quick. Going to invite DDE and Puma himself. I really want to go ahead and jump into this game because that Game 1 was actually really exciting and well played out. So technical by both players. Just DDE, just he's the one that fell apart, unfortunately, for him. Gonna go ahead and ask him to suggest Puma really quick. Hopefully game sounds were better for you guys. Our producer walked over and said, hey, game sounds are a little low, please turn them up. We're raising 10%. Again, just let us know via Twitter. Actually be awesome. You can let Kibbles know. I think his is up and ready to go on the other monitor. We're just gonna go ahead and wait for Puma to join on in. Taking a second here. The map is going to be MLG Daybreak. This is going to be DDE's choice. And one of DDE's strengths, I feel, is really micro-harassment. Whether it be Banshee, whether it be Medevacs. He's really good at getting into his opponent's main natural and being really effective with his units. And I think Daybreak really allows him to exploit that Medevac dropping and the Banshee play that he likes to use a lot because he has so many avenues of doing attacks.
Yeah, that's a great point to make, Robin. So, Puma now getting into the lobby. We're going to launch this game. The countdown is about to start. Just need the ready from both players. Guys, it's game 2 between DDE and the veteran Puma.
Got to make sure. I think DDE is supposed to be red. Am I correct?
Yes, in fact, you are completely correct. Let's ask them to do a quick color switch.
Gonna go and switch up.
Guys, I'm Kibbles casting today with Robin. You can follow us, as you see down there on the bottom of the screen, at Kibbles and Robin TiVo.
Make sure to follow Kibbles, man. He's awesome. That's all I'm going to say. Go, go, go from both our players. DDE,
thank you, Robin.
A red Terran player. No problem, man. You deserve it. Love me some Kibbles. Blue Terran player as well. And it looks like, yep, Daybreak 2. It's going to be our map. Thank you, Cammy. Going to go ahead and load it up. Guys, I'm super excited for this matchup.